Hello, and thank you for joining today's session on how to view Action1's integration with ServiceNow. So we'll take a look at what data we integrate with ServiceNow today and talk about some possibilities for the future. So this is the main page when you first log in as a user, and you can access all of your Action1 data by clicking on the All pull-down menu. From here, you will see Action1 is actually one of the first things you'll find on your list. And in here, you will find information about our connector status. Of course, we reviewed this in our last how-to session, how to get that set up. From here, we can also see all the endpoint data that's collected. So the difference between the endpoint name and the configuration item, this is the actual Action1 name for that endpoint, and this is the configuration item ID for ServiceNow. So it sounds like the same thing, but in fact, we'll see that when we drill down, we'll see different data between these two columns of information. And of course, all the rest of this data should look very familiar for anyone that's been working in Action1 for any length of time. My vulnerability status, which organization I'm in, what my connected status is, my IDs. So for those of you that like to get into the API, we can use these for accessing our endpoints. And that is, I believe, one of the ideas moving down the road is we might possibly be able to use these for further actions back into Action1. All right, so let's go take a look at what we collect from Action1, that is the Action1 data. From here, I can see I'm collecting my vulnerability data, of course, the number of criticals and non-critical vulnerabilities. I can see my update status as well, how many critical updates I'm missing versus non-critical updates. And we can see other information that's collected from Action1 also, like the windowing versioning information, the user that's logged in, what domain it's associated with, and again, other status information like what it's which group it's in, if it's connected or not, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back and take a look at our other column for this same endpoint. So for the same endpoint, we don't have that same data. We have this is the information that's collected in ServiceNow in their standard views of their endpoints. From here, I can see details from Action1. So my Action1 endpoint data, this is from, I believe, the custom data that I mentioned in the previous how-to session that we created in the ServiceNow database for Action1 specific data. Now, there are other columns, or excuse me, other tabs of information that are available in here. We will be filling some of these out in future releases of the ServiceNow integration. Not filled out today so much, but there's a couple of these that have some information, and we'll talk about some of the other ones as well. For my network adapter, I can see what the adapter is. I can see what my IP and net mask is. So this is information that ServiceNow actually doesn't collect by default. So providing this data is very helpful for Action1. Now, the next couple: storage devices, file system, software installed, running processes, server serial number not configured yet. File system is probably something we will be looking at, possibly same thing with storage devices. This installed software, I believe all three of these are good candidates for us to fill in with Action1 data. Not sure about the running processes one, since we don't really manage everything in a time slice manner. But collecting things like the serial number are available in the various places in the platform today. What IPs are assigned to this endpoint. Not any other information in here. DNS, memory, and TCP connections not filled out today, but these are all areas that we will be looking at for future integrations. Now, one of the other things I did want to point out here is part of the power of bringing Action1 data into ServiceNow is to be able to do two very important things for Action1 users. The first one is it would be very nice to be able to plot vulnerable data or vulnerabilities over time. Excuse me. Same thing with non-critical vulnerabilities. Be able to collect those over time, be able to provide graphs and reporting and possibly trending on that data. Same thing with your updates, being able to plot those over time, be able to show that you are applying updates in a timely manner and how often you're getting new updates. All that type of information collected over time would be fantastic data for us to be able to present in our ServiceNow integration. The other thing we can do is very possibly set up thresholds for these and generate alarms into ServiceNow so that they can't possibly kick off a remediation on your endpoints. Again, they have the IDs from Action1. They can do that type of thing now. So very powerful integration future features coming soon. All right, thanks very much for your time, everybody. Hopefully this was helpful information for you, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next time. Thanks very much and have a great rest of your day.